Hello everyone and welcome to Campus Channel. I'm here with Emlyon Business School and we're going to be talking about the MSc in Leading Sustainable Transformation, the LST. Can we still survive the world? Well, that's what we're going to try and answer with Vincent Jolito, the Program Director of the LST. How are you, Vincent?
I'm fine, thank you, and thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for coming. What should we know about you that we haven't said already?
I'm Professor of Strategy and Organization, and we have said already that I'm Program Director, Academic Director of the Master of Science in Leading Sustainable Transformations.
All right, thank you, Vincent. And we're here with two of your students, Lara Anne.
Hi.
Hi, Lara, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. What should we do about you? Maybe your academic background, where you come from, what have been your studies before you've applied to this MSc?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a French-Australian student. I'm 21. And before coming to Paris to do this master's, I did a Bachelor of Commerce in Sustainability at McGill in Canada. So when I found this program, I knew it was the kind of obvious continuation of my interest in both business and sustainability.
All right, thank you very much. And one of your co-students, Emily Tutz.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, Emily?
Very well.
Can you answer the same kind of question as Lara, like where you come from and what have been your studies before?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm originally from the UK. I've been working and studying in France for the last 5 years. Before coming to the program in Leading Sustainable Transformations, I completed a bachelor's in International Relations and French Studies at the University of London Institute in Paris. And I'm currently, at the time of filming, 24.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks to the three of you for coming and answering all of my questions, but we still have more to come and we'll start with the pitch. So Vincent, on the pitch, 60 seconds a minute to introduce us to this LST. Are you ready?
Yes.
Then I'm listening.
Yes, the Masters in Leading Sustainable Transformation, as the name indicates, is for students who want to make the world and particularly business a better place. That's why students are here. This is not because only students want to make the world a better place, but it's also because businesses want to make the world a better place, and they need young managers, aspiring managers, to help them transform. Businesses are eager to hire particularly large corporations, but also consultancies, and in all kinds of industries they need to have students who are able to change things and to make businesses more sustainable, more environment friendly, more society friendly, and hence the Masters in Leading Sustainable Transformations.
Well, it was like right on the clock. Well, let's hope companies want to make the world a better place. So how to get in this program? Well, that's the question we're going to answer with the admissions. How much of a sustainable person do I need to be in order to apply?
Well, sustainability is more an aspiration than an experience. This program is for students who come from a bachelor degree, 3 or 4 years, depending on the tracks. And actually they come either from very diverse backgrounds like international studies or some engineering background or maths backgrounds. But what we really want to ascertain is that they have some work experience. That's important that students have, say, 1 year, perhaps 2 long internships, 2 6-month internships, to make the best out of the program.
Lara, what was your link with sustainability before applying?
As I mentioned previously, my previous studies were already in sustainability. So it was really through the academic and not the work experience that I had that. My work experience was more just in business in a director of marketing position. And I was also interested in sustainability even in high school. So I knew going into my bachelor's that it's something I wanted to focus on. And as soon as I entered like a university level academic interest in it, I knew I wanted to continue pursuing it in a program that will allow me to do it professionally.
Maybe it's just me being a bit of a cliche, like asking, do you have to be a hippie in order to apply to that kind of program? So I'm going to ask you the same question. Emily, is it what was your link? What made you want to go into that direction?
So I don't have before coming to Emlyon, I didn't have a academic or professional background in sustainability. It was always a personal ethos of mine, something that I believe should be championed. But it was during my bachelor's degree where we had this module called Thinking the Anthropocene, all about, enjeux climatiques of our days. And it was this that really sparked my interest in continuing sustainability after my bachelor's. And I didn't realize that was actually something that you could study. So when I found this relatively new program at Emlyon, I was really fascinated and really excited to see if I could make the cut.
And out of all the sustainable MSc that exists, or with the same theme, what made you apply to this one specifically? Since you mentioned it was brand new as well.
Why was I drawn to this one specifically?
Yeah.
One, it was the passion for Vincent. Obviously, this is sort of his baby. This is something that he has created because he saw a gap in the market. Equally, there is the part of leadership studies that do come with this. And for me, it was just a really interdisciplinary degree that would allow a springboard of careers in a lot of different domains.
Before getting in, you will have to go through the digital test.
Yes.
How did it go? What is it made of exactly? Because it's, I think it's specific to Emlyon Business School.
Yes.
And so how should one prepare for those?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not actually something that I knew was happening when I applied to Emlyon. So it was quite a fun surprise to actually receive that email for admission. So it's divided into 3 separate steps. The first one puts you in kind of a business scenario in which you go back and forth with a simulation, kind of helping people out in a work environment, tackling their problems, having conversations back and forth. Then there's some logic tests, some basic just like thinking puzzles. And then there's a series of questions with which you have about 10-15 seconds to read the question, to prepare yourself to answer it, and then you're recorded in 30 seconds answering that question. So for our program, there are questions on your previous work experience, your previous situations of leadership, your interest in sustainability, kind of ascertain if the program is for you and does align with both your profile and your interests. And you don't get any do-overs. So once you've answered the question in 30 seconds, it's submitted as part of your application and you just go on with your day.
So if there's a wait a minute, I didn't want to, and that's part of the application then.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it a bit awkward? You're speaking with a computer basically.
I definitely would say it's a little bit awkward if you don't get past it. I do think that we're the generation as well of like Zoom classes and having kind of hit that end of high school or start of university for some of us. So I do think that not being able to rewatch the recording and not overthinking it actually helped. I was glad to not have to rewatch myself and question my answers. You take what you get on first try, and clearly it worked out for both of us.
Which advice could you give someone who's going to go through those tests?
I mean, there is a hidden question in the questionnaire. There is a question that you don't know it exists. It is to what extent do the applicants will contribute to make the cohort a nice cohort, a nice crowd to work with, and to make progress, and to be together as a group. And well, so far so good.
Definitely.
I can see that you two have like very international backgrounds from the UK, Australia, Canada. So I guess English was never the issue for the two of you. How good at English someone needs to be before applying? As in really good? As in
really
UK,
good.
Australia, Canada good?
Really good, really good. Not native, but really good. I mean, that's definitely a requisite.
One last question. Several rounds of apply. The student question, which round will give me the more chance to get in?
Well, it's a kind of rolling process. And at any time, students can apply, and they will receive a first answer that the application has been received. And then after a jury, because we take admission decisions as a collective, as a jury, in a few weeks, in a matter of really a few weeks, admission is either accepted or sometimes not.
And would you say the sooner the better, or it just depends on
The sooner the better.
All right, so that's not just
and yes, the really the sooner the better from now on, yeah.
All right, so the sooner the better. That was not just a cliche. However, you don't need to be hippie. That was a cliche. And for the other ones, let's move on to the cliches. So cliches are stereotyped ideas that you might have had before applying. Emily, what would be a cliche that came to your mind?
A cliche that I often experience when I tell people that I am doing sustainability in business is people usually think that sustainability is something that has to be creative or worked on or sort of, put in place apart from industry and then brought into the industry. But what we're learning within this program is it's something that can actually be so transformative across so many industries from the inside out.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I also kind of face the question of, is business and sustainability, can they even coexist? Are they inherent opposites? And I've realized across studying both simultaneously that we do need to take them together to be able to tackle the issues in the business industry, and opposing them really isn't going to solve either issue.
And is it really possible to achieve that? Because you said like companies want to be more sustainable, but do they really want to be more sustainable?
Not only they want, but they do. This program is very much backed on management research, some of which I am leading and happy to lead, to conduct. And we see that actually without too much noise, without too much bragging about it, they do transformations. However, it's difficult. And for that, they need young graduates, young managers. But regarding cliches, one cliche is that sustainability is about technical challenges, decarbonation, engineering, finding new solutions, etc., etc. Actually, sustainability is about people, who are able to move things around, to change things, and they are the sustainability agents. They are the sustainability transformation agents that we provide with kind of intellectual tools and training, and they have leadership classes in which they really develop their thinking, their way of working, and this is what this program is about.
And that's what we're going to discover through the program. How do you make sure that this program will help your students face the problem of the next 10 years, for example?
Wow, okay, the program has 3 separate parts. Part number 1 is evaluating transformations. We are witnessing transformations in the world at a pace, at an unprecedented pace. And for that, we have students discover what is going on in the planet, what is going on in society, what is going on in technology. And that's the very first part of the program, which is taught in Paris. Our campus in Paris, central Paris, great campus, by the way.
It's next to Gare de Lyon.
So you can take the TGV, and if you have time, you take the TGV for Lyon and have a good meal.
Yeah.
And the Emlyon. Okay, part number 2, P2, the winter from January to March, is designing transformation, imagining how to transform companies, how to transform organizations, and starting to make it happen. Throughout, there are leadership classes in which, students develop their capabilities as change agents. And then P3, in the spring, is in London. And during those 3 months, in London, students develop their own transformation project. So they take a theme as focused as possible, they investigate, and they make propositions that are realistic and that, help make the world a better place. I just forgot to say that in the middle of P3, in the spring, we have a learning trip. Of course, sustainable learning trip. We travel by train.
Is it the international seminar?
It is the international seminar.
All right.
We go to Brussels, Amsterdam. We visit the European Union, of course. We get to know what the European regulations are about. And we also visit companies that are implementing transformations, sustainable transformations.
You mentioned that you will go by train. I was wondering, wouldn't it be more sustainable to just like stay in one place?
Well, you know, the truth is in many places, firms, companies, businesses, they are international by nature today. And we need to know what's going on elsewhere. We can't limit our knowledge to just one place.
So what's been your favorite part so far?
My favorite part of the program is definitely all of the like interactive implementation aspects that we get as part of our programs. A lot of our courses, for example, our Planet course will have us tackle a concrete subject and concretely look at existing solutions and come up with new ones.
Do you have a concrete example you could give us?
We were in a group project together for the Planet course.
Okay.
And what we found really wonderful about Planet is because it was such an in-depth exploration of climate issues and really those technical terms and hard skills that we will need going forward with our career in sustainability. And then we were able to take those skills that we learned and apply them to a real-life project. We did a consulting project for a large agricultural firm.
Okay.
On their Scope 3 emissions. And as a team, we were able to dive into that and really create this roadmap for that company. And that was really invaluable. That's the kind of thing that we're hoping to do within our careers.
Yeah.
This course, which you actually led with which you had with a really big dairy firm.
Yes.
This course, generally, the companies are the representatives of the company. They are impressed with what the students do, and they use it in a way or another. They really use it. I have the experience from last year, from the first cohort, and indeed they invited the students to participate in kind of sub-projects, and it was absolutely concrete in terms of outcomes for both the students and the firm.
What has surprised you the most? There was a favorite course? And what would be the thing you could have never imagined before applying? And you have to be there to know what it is.
I think the leadership aspect of the program was what surprised me the most. I've tackled like the academic side of sustainability, and I've done at least beginner courses in the different aspects of business that we do touch, but having that leadership element where we really sit down with a professor who just teaches us what you would consider to be obvious or non-applicable actually kind of touches all of the different subjects that we look at, and it makes you grow as a person more than you think you realize.
Is it the same for you?
Yes, I would say that's definitely accurate.
As a professor, Vincent, which message, which life lessons do you want your students to remember once they've graduated?
I would like them to remember this program not as a series of classes, but as an experience. I mean, we do our best to be innovative in our pedagogy. We do our best to be adaptable, to listen to the students. What is it that they feel they miss? And just today we've decided to add some conferences on top of the program because we have heard that it could be of interest. So we would like the students to remember it as an experience. Something that we introduced this year was to help the students really make sense of business and sustainability, a kind of holistic thing. And we have a session called Red Thread throughout the program. And every month or so, we grill.
Grill
3 students.
All right.
To present what their personal investigation is about sustainability and transformations, and also we share what we learn from the different parts of the program. In some programs, you have scattered disciplines. Here we try to mesh everything together, particularly through leadership, with leadership also as a common thread.
And last questions. Why have you picked London and Paris?
Well, Paris is the obvious destination for international students. We really love to take advantage of the centrality of Paris in Europe and the attractiveness of Paris too. And London, we have a particular relationship with London Interdisciplinary School, which is a kind of sister school for Emlyon. And London Interdisciplinary School is, as the name indicates,
interdisciplinary.
Oh yes,
That's what you were going to say. I had this intuition that you would say that.
it's interdisciplinary, and besides putting together all the traditional disciplines of business, London Interdisciplinary Schools brings to the students a complementary view and helps them gain altitude and see things from a different perspective, because you need to see things from a different perspective to change things. You can't, if you stay close to the ground, it doesn't work. And this is what London Interdisciplinary School is about. And besides, London is not a bad city to spend some months in, right?
No, it's quite a good place. I mean, I'm sure Emily would agree. It's come from the United Kingdom, I guess. So, is there one thing we haven't said that you think is important for students to hear before we move on to the after section? One thing that you've experienced and that you're like, well, we haven't talked about that. And I really would want someone to know that, because it would have helped me, I don't know, understand better what the program's about.
Yeah.
Is there one thing?
I think for prospective students, I think it's really important to know and remember that it doesn't matter where you come from or what you studied before. The most important thing is caring about the topic of sustainability. It's the people who care about it who will drive the change that the program is trying to create. So if you have an interest in business and sustainability, it doesn't matter if you did engineering, you did finance, you did something completely unrelated, you live somewhere where there isn't an Emlyon campus, where there isn't, it's an incredibly valuable program. And I think it's really shown that across the 20 students we have, there's 14 different nationalities, people of all ages and all backgrounds. Really, anyone who is interested in the topic is definitely welcome.
Emily, would that wrap it up? Or?
I have two things.
All right, let's go for it.
If they may, one of them is very short. First of all, I'd say something that I was sort of given this advice before I started, but I really want to reiterate for students looking at the program. The workload is very, very intense. With
Let's be clear about that.
you get your money's worth. I'll say that. It's we usually have classes 5 days a week. We're usually on the campus for around 8 hours a day. We have classes in blocks of 3 hours with a small break in between. So every day we do an average of 6 hours of class with a lunch break in between. Obviously,
funny.
Yes. When you take into account potential commutes, going home, going over what you've learned for the day, working on group projects, working on individual projects, and also, and I really would say to students, do this because the course moves so quickly and we cover so many different areas. If you find something that really sparks your interest and you find yourself being really passionate about, don't be afraid to go and do some independent research and really go down that rabbit hole yourself, because you may not come back to it, or you may not come back to it while it's still fresh in your mind. So I would say be prepared to work and work hard, that it is worth it. And just secondly, I would touch on, obviously we live in an environment that's really changing with sort of the more prominent place of AI. And that is something that we do discuss in our masters. We have classes specifically around the environmental impacts of AI, but also how can we use AI in a sustainable way, and how can we use this in a way that does serve us, serve communities, and serve our projects.
What do you do once you've graduated? Let's move on to after. So Vincent, what will your student do afterwards?
Well, they are already starting to do things from the first cohort, and even from the current cohort, I hear that students in a matter of a few, well, if not a few weeks, but a few months, but a matter of weeks, they find internships, and they are geared towards fascinating roles. What are the roles? Typically, while junior manager, to be very broad, it is typically internal consultants in big companies, or junior consultants in consultancies, or analysts. And the key role that they get is how to say it? Yeah, transformation agent in a way or another. In French, the term is often chargé de mission. It can be junior project manager in sustainability, in relation with industry. Industrial matters for those who have some industrial background, but also marketing, finance. This is the kind of roles, and I'm very happy to hear that students find internships so easily.
Lara, have you found an internship yet?
I have, yes, but I haven't signed quite yet, so I won't won't elaborate on it now.
So you're not going to spoil it, right?
Nope.
Emily, can you?
I'm currently going through the process of finding an internship. Yeah.
All right, so it's still ongoing. Do you know what you want to do afterwards, Lara?
Yes, I am very interested, as Vincent mentioned, in that idea of internal consulting within a company. And my main area of interest is everything to do with energy transition. So really looking into either those topics of decarbonization or green energies. I'm really interested in the whole sector. I am very interested as well in the idea of working kind of on an international level. I was really looking for an internship in France and to continue to live here for a little bit because I only came back here in August. But in the future, I do see myself moving around, potentially moving home to Australia.
What about you, Emily?
I'm really interested in either internal CSR, corporate social responsibility missions, or something that's really interesting to me is how do we combine CSR and sustainability, and how do we let people know what companies are doing? So I'm really interested in roles that combine that with communications and with marketing.
You mentioned you were looking for an internship. Is the Emlyon network helping you in that regard or not?
Yes, 100%. We have, I think we had a total of 7 individual sessions with an amazing teacher who's a professional in the recruitment and HR field. And they go from everything from creating a CV, doing your LinkedIn, how you can really make the most of the network that you have personally, and also what the school can provide for you. So I would say, I think Emlyon is ranked 2nd in employability as French business schools. And for me, that was something that was very attractive coming into the program, because obviously the goal is to come out of this program with a good internship and great career prospects going forward.
Obviously, that's what it was supposed to lead. We'll still have a bit of time. It's time for extra time. Extra time is about concluding. It's about adding something we haven't said, or maybe mentioning something new. I will start with you, Lara. What would be your conclusion?
I don't know. I think my conclusion would be that the things that attracted me to the Emlyon, the LST program originally, which were just continuing sustainability studies and continuing in a school that, as Emily mentioned, is a well-known and well-qualified business school. That's what I thought that I was going to get when I entered the program, and I've realized 6 months in that I've actually gotten a lot more, either socially, culturally, or even just in professional and personal prospects. I do think that this school is the whole package, and I'm very, very happy with my choice of the masters I chose.
All right, thank you for that, Emily.
I would 100% agree with Lara. If I look back to myself even 6 months ago at the start of the program, between then and now, I see a real personal evolution and a real academic evolution as well. I'm really happy with what the master's given me.
Apparently you have 2 happy students, Vincent.
Well,
what would be your conclusion now? Are you happy for them?
I'm happy to have so happy students. I mean, I'm so happy to have so happy students. I mean, it's a chance. It's really an opportunity to have a great crowd. And a couple of things I just perhaps forgot. It's a small program, 25 students. And it allows for a sense of community that really matters. Another thing that may overlook, not only it's a hard work, but also it's
that's how we got with Emily.
Yeah, it's also stimulating work. Why? Because it's very much backed on research with many of my colleagues at Emlyon. Well, Emlyon is also renowned for research, really top research in management, number 2 in France, if I'm correct. And we have so many colleagues participating and happy to participate in the program. And I mean, yes, I would suspect they are stimulating. They propose intellectual frameworks. They have students, yes, work, but also reflect and yes, well, raise the helicopter from the start.
Well, thanks to the three of you for answering all of my questions. If you want to make the world a better place, I guess you need to subscribe to this MSc in Leading Sustainable Transformation, the LST at Emlyon Business School. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.